The 0-1. Swing and a pop down the left field line. Looking for it, McMahon. He's got room. He's there. And the Yankees have won it. They win this wild card round and eliminate the Boston Red Sox. The final score, 4-0 New York. It's on to Toronto.
From MLB.com, this is the Morning Lineup Podcast. I'm your host, Will Leach. Today is Friday, October 3rd. So that was exciting. We had 3 elimination games on Thursday, which meant 3 teams got to pop champagne, while 3 other teams had to pack up their stuff and get the heck out of here. I'm going to tell you all about what went down on a transcendent day of playoff baseball, and I'm going to somehow try to do it in 10 minutes or less. Baseball's fun, right? Wow!
Hits it to deep left. That might send the Yankees to the World Series. Boom, a hero in Game 7.
Remember that moment? That homer by Aaron Boone, who ended up becoming a manager when he grew up, if you can believe that, ended the 2003 ALCS and was the last time the Yankees had beaten the Red Sox in the postseason, with the Bo Sox getting the better of their hated rivals in 2021, 2018, and of course 2004 since then. One guy who wasn't around for any of those series, a guy who was in fact 2 years old when Boone hit that homer, was Yankees rookie Cam Schlittler, who, heading into Thursday, had pitched in exactly 14 big league games in his life. In the 15th, he was charged with, keeping the Yankees season alive against those hated Red Sox in front of about 47,000 screaming fans in the Bronx. It is fair to say Schlittler came through.
A dirty dozen for Schlittler as Gonzalez is gone.
Schlittler was utterly brilliant for the Yankees on Thursday, throwing 8 shutout innings, giving up just 5 hits and striking out a career-high 12 as the Yankees advanced to the ALDS with a 4-0 win over the Red Sox. Schlittler outdueled fellow rookie Connolly Early, who pitched well but got nickel and dimed for 4 hits and 4 runs in the 4th inning, which was more than enough for Schlittler and the Yankees, especially considering how great Schlittler was. The Red Sox had only one batter reach second base against Schlittler. That is dominance. With the win, the Yankees became the first team in the current playoff format to lose the first game of the wildcard series and come back to win the next 2 in advance. That they did it on the 47th anniversary of the Bucky Dent game, with Bucky Dent actually throwing out the first pitch, no less, was the chef's kiss of the whole evening. The Red Sox are young and exciting, and they will be back, but that's all for them until 2026. Meanwhile, the Yankees will kick off the ALDS on Saturday against the Blue Jays, the team that beat them out for the AL East title this year. Prepare thyself. Gird thy loins. Heading into the 6th inning of the decisive Game 3 of the Tigers-Guardians series on Thursday, with the game tied 1-1, Tigers fans had to be tearing their hair out. The day after going 1 for 15 with runners in scoring position and stranding a franchise record 15 runners, the Tigers were back at it. They left 1 runner on in the first, 2 more in the third, and 2 more in the fourth. It was just one frustration after another, and if they didn't figure out a way to get a big hit soon, they were going to find themselves knocked out of the playoffs by their division rivals, the Guardians, for the 2nd straight year. And then Dylan Dingler, who maybe hadn't sprinted hard enough to home the day before, costing his team a run when Zach McKinstry was thrown out at third, came to the plate. It is fair to say he got some absolution.
High fly ball, left center field. Deep. Quan back looking up. Gone! Dylan Dingler! Tigers take a 2-1 lead in the 6th.
That right there opened the floodgates. Next inning, with the bases loaded and 1 out, Wensil Perez came to the plate, and he did not strand any runners at all.
Hit to right, that's going to drop for a hit. Baez has scored, Meadows comes to the plate. It's a 2-run single for Wensil Perez in a 4-1 Tiger lead.
That would lead to a 4-run 7th, and that's all the Tigers would end up needing in a 6-3 win, eliminating the Guardians and sending the Tigers to the ALDS for the 2nd consecutive year. We're going to erase the memories of the MLB record 15.5 game AL Central lead that the Tigers gacked away in September, because it's the Tigers now, not the Guardians, who are the ones moving on.
They test us and test us and test us, and we keep answering. Okay, it's taken 89 wins to get to this point. I know what 11 more bring. Our first win of the year was where? Yeah. Let's go back.
The Tigers, who, by the way, have been on the road since September 21st, now fly across the country to Seattle to face the Mariners in the ALDS. Whoever wins that series is going to be in uncharted territory. Tigers haven't reached the ALCS since their streak of 3 straight ALCS in a row ended in 2013. The Mariners, rather famously, have not been to the ALCS since 2001. So this one's going to be pretty stressful, but exciting. After the break, if you thought breaking down the American League was thrilling, wait till I tell you about the National League. That's the other league. Until this week, the last time fans got to watch the Cubs win a playoff game at Wrigley Field was October 2017, and then they got eliminated in an 11-1 loss the next night. So I wasn't surprised to hear the friendly confines roaring from the start of the Cubs' decisive wildcard series Game 3 against the Padres on Thursday. But the loudest cheers may have been for folk hero Pete Crow Armstrong, perhaps the most popular Cub and the one who, heading into Thursday, had had an absolutely miserable series. PCA, that's what they chant when he bats. Either it's because of his initials or as a way of honoring the concept of principal component analysis, a linear dimensionality reduction technique with applications in exploratory data analysis, visualization, and data pre-processing. I'm honestly not sure which. Probably his initial, I guess. Anyway, he was 0 for 6 with 5 strikeouts and a couple of helmet throws of frustration when he stepped to the plate in the bottom of the second with the bases loaded and no score. PCA held on to his helmet this time.
Center field, here comes Jackson Merrill. It flies for base hits. Pete Crow Armstrong puts the Cubs on top in Game 3.
Dansby Swanson would follow that up with a walk to score another run. Michael Busch would hit a 7th-inning homer. And thanks to some terrific defense and some splendid pitching from Jameson Taillon and 5 relievers, that would end up being, despite a very scary 9th inning, all the Cubs needed in a 3-1 win to eliminate the Padres. It's Cubs' first postseason victory since the 2017 NLDS and only their second since that World Series that you might vaguely remember. And it sets them up for what should be a raucous series against their division and geographic rivals in Milwaukee. It's yet another postseason of falling short for the Padres, who, despite this golden era of franchise baseball, can't seem to quite get over the playoff hump. It'll be a long off season in San Diego once again.
Two outs, bases clear, 8-4 Dodgers. The 0-2. Line drive, caught by Mookie Betts, and that'll do it. The Dodgers sweep the Reds 2-0, and they'll take on the Phillies in the division series.
Mercifully, for the sake of all of our frayed nerves, the Dodgers went ahead and took care of their business on Wednesday, sweeping their series against the Reds and cruising along to the NLDS. But that's all the cruising that's going to be happening. Dodgers now have to face the NL team that might just be more desperate to win the World Series than they are. The Phillies are loaded with veterans, and unlike everyone else on the planet but me, and maybe, I don't know, Paul Rudd, Kristen Wiig, they are not getting any younger, which makes their NLDS against the Dodgers of the utmost importance. After losing in the World Series to the Astros 3 years ago, and the NLCS to the Diamondbacks 2 years ago, and then the NLDS to the Mets last year, the Phillies are running out of chances to get Bryce Harper that much elusive ring. And now they have to face the freaking defending champion Dodgers. And not only that, in Game 1 at Citizens Bank Park on Saturday, they have to face Shohei Ohtani both in the lineup and on the mound. Ohtani will be making his first ever postseason pitching start. He'll be facing Christopher Sanchez, who, don't forget, was brilliant on the mound for the Phillies this year. It's those defending champs against the mighty Phillies in the NLDS, and it seems unfair that one of these teams is going to have to lose. But someone's going to have to. That's all for today's Morning Lineup Podcast. Thank you for listening. Please be sure to give us a rating and review and tell everyone you know about this podcast. Anthony Castrovance will be with you on Monday morning to wrap up the week of the Division Series games. I will be back Tuesday morning. Whew, that was exhausting. I need a nap. I need several. Have a good weekend.